Yo, 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 Big Kish back up in here. Y'all, get up in here, cause Drake started it, Pusha T finished it, and Kendrick Lamar destroyed him. Yeah. I ain't had nothing to say in the introduction, could you tell? Yeah, I ain't had no introduction to say, look, this is what we got right here. Y'all see the Pusha T, y'all see the Drake, and then in the next chapter, Kendrick Lamar gonna finish it off. Yeah, do not click off this video. Let's get it to 1,000 likes. Before we get into that, y'all make sure y'all pick y'all up a copy of Street Dad, Geek Dad, Avoiding the Manufactured Mindset, written by me, Big Kish. The link will be in the description for purchase. Y'all know I'm like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
In 2018, Drake would get into the climax of his feud with rapper Pusha T that had been brewing for some years.
I've never shied away from defending myself. And I'm also sometimes eager to engage if I feel that you want to be slick or be offensive behind the scenes. I might choose to address it in music. And you know, that was how.
Why he had it? Remember when he was interviewing with Angie Martinez? He was like, "Those are some harsh words. I don't want to battle.
How I ended myself up in the Pusha situation.
Drake and Pusha had actually been sending subliminal shots to each other in songs for years up to this point, but in 2018, Pusha released a song called Infrared, where he explicitly makes fun of Drake's ghostwriting allegations, rapping, "It was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin." Somehow, in less than 24 hours, Drake responded with a direct diss track to Pusha called Duppy Freestyle. The song was well received and had great flows and lyrics. However, for no real reason, he decides to name drop Pusha's wife in a diss. In rap battles, an unwritten rule pretty much is don't get family involved, and Drake didn't even need to include it in the line. He was clearly so arrogant in the situation, he thought, I'm gonna break this unwritten rule because there's no way you can respond with a diss track better than mine, gaining this confidence with his successful beef with Meek. It's not like the line exposes anything about Pusha or his wife, it's just, I'm gonna drop her name in there to make you angry. But no one was ready for the bomb Pusha had prepared to drop.
Boy, did he drop a bomb. From some girl pillow talking with OVO 40 was pillow talking with some chick. Chick came to Pusha T. But yeah, I think Drake was listening too much of URL TV and Smack. And he was seeing how Arsenal and them, you know how they be disrespecting each other. And he tried to apply that to here. And this is how he got exposed. Check it out.
4 days later, Pusha dropped the song, The Story of Adidon, which had some personal bars in it. He makes fun of Drake's friend and #1 producer, 40, who has a condition called multiple sclerosis.
Tick, tick, tick. How much time he got? That man is 666.
He makes fun of Drake's issues of being biracial and struggling to fit in no matter where he goes.
Confused, always felt you weren't black enough. Afraid to grow it cause your fro wouldn't nap enough.
And then he drops the breaking news.
You are hiding a child, let that boy come home. Deadbeat motherfucker playing border patrol. Ooh!
Pusha broke the news that Drake...
Look, he said, ooh! Hey, look, Pusha knew he was getting on too. He said, but look, deadbeat motherfucker playing border patrol. Ooh!
Had a son with an ex-adult film star named Sophie Brissot that he was hiding from the world. His son's name is Adonis, which Pusha also exposed on the track, and revealed Drake was planning to announce him through an Adidas press run. Now, of course, if Drake was keeping Adonis's existence hidden for privacy reasons up to this point, that's cool, but the fact that this potentially amazing moment of Drake revealing it himself and receiving praise and love for it was taken away by Pusha, who revealed it in such a malicious way. It was the shock factor more than anything that caused Drake to lose this beef. Instead of the headlines being, Drake reveals he has a son, it was Drake exposed for hiding his son.
I just realized that like nobody cares about this guy, so it's not really much I can say better than Drake has a baby. He won. You know, he won off that bomb.
Drake didn't end up responding to this with a song.
Dang, hey look, he admitted defeat. Now you just need to come out and say .1 and because he bum 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 bum.
And the beef was ended. However, in the past when rappers had lost beefs, it at least had some detriment on their career, like Ja Rule after his beef with 50 Cent. However, this wasn't the case with Drake. Over time, Adonis has just been embraced and people kind of find him entertaining, and Drake was able to just push out generic mainstream music that the mass public could digest on the radio, and his numbers weren't really affected. In fact, months later, he dropped the song In My Feelings that broke the streaming record for the most streams in a single week. Drake was unstoppable, and despite his dark traits, the next few years would allow him to just roll in billions of streams for his music, and an ever-growing bank account. And someone at some point had to stop him.
Here it go. Here it go. Here you go.
Similar to Pusha T, Kendrick Lamar is someone that had been exchanging subliminals with Drake for a while now, and in 2024, this beef also came to fruition. Kendrick knew how to get under Drake's skin, knowing how fragile his ego would be from an experience he had years prior. In 2013, Kendrick featured on a song with rapper Big Sean, and rapped a verse where he essentially called out other rappers in the industry, saying that despite being friends, he still wants to kill them, as in lyrically kill them and be better than them. Hip-hop fans often view the genre as a sport and see competition as necessary to keep it entertaining, which is what Kendrick was trying to do in this verse. And everyone mentioned got the memo and didn't take it too personally. Everyone but Drake.
I just I don't know. It just wasn't.
There you go. You see how he circled his name? Yeah.
It wasn't real to me. It's like, I saw him after that and it was just like love. So it's like, was that real or was that just like for the people? You know what I mean? I personally enjoy making like great music and bodies of work over like being the talk of Twitter for like 5 days.
Confrontation is inherent in the art form?
I believe so, yeah. Confrontation just kind of comes with the territory.
This complaining wasn't a good look.
Which one is it, man? Which one is it? You okay with the combat, or are those some harsh words? You gotta let us know. Hey, look, you're very indecisive, bruh. What are we doing? Are we finished or are we done?
Look for Drake, and people labeled him as soft for this, and it gave glimpses of how sensitive his ego is. So fast forward over 10 years later, Drake dropped a song with J. Cole called First Person Shooter, where J. Cole raps,
"Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali."
Clearly the bars imply J. Cole is respectfully saying the top 3 rappers in the game are himself, Drake, and Kendrick, referring to them as the big 3. Despite rarely dropping music at this point, this seemed to wake Kendrick up, who whilst on a feature with producer Metro and rapper Future said,
"Motherfuck the big 3. It's just big me."
He sends multiple explicit and subtle shots in this song throughout to both Drake and Cole in the hopes that Drake would again have an emotional outburst due to his ego getting hurt, and once again he does just that.
Hey, you could go back and listen to that joint. Dot was just flowing that joint. That the thing won't drop the location. He was sliding on that bottle. What?
Getting hurt, and once again he does just that.
I got my fucking head up high, my back straight, I'm 10 toes down, and I know that no matter what, it's not a on this earth that can ever fuck me in my life.
The two would then go back and forth.
He gonna cry in the car.
Sending diss tracks to each other, which produced a lot of dark moments for both rappers, as they gradually got more personal and vicious. Drake says Kendrick is a woman beater, and that his friend and manager is actually his kid's baby father, which both have no factual backing at this current time. Kendrick made fun of how Drake deals with the insecurity of not feeling black enough and needing to collaborate with black artists to feel more black. He makes fun of Drake's relationship with Adonis and claims he's not a present father and hasn't taught him any morals. He makes fun of the ghostwriting allegations and getting peed on in the club. He calls him a narcissist, a misogynist, and a psychopath. He mocks Drake's drinking, drugs, and gambling problems. His fake accent. Kendrick did lose some people when he said that Drake is hiding another daughter but provided no proof. But most importantly, the argument he repeats the most that everyone is so focused on, he calls Drake a predator. Multiple times over their exchange of tracks, Kendrick alludes to the fact that Drake likes young girls and advises others to keep their young female relatives away from him. Now imagine being Drake and hearing all of these accusations towards you, with most of them being accurate as has been documented in this video, and having nothing to really say about Kendrick. Of course Kendrick Lamar isn't perfect, but he's significantly less controversial than Drake and seems to have more of a moral code. So what does Drake do? He becomes a serial liar and a really unconvincing denier.
Only with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I'd never look twice at no teenager.
I brought up this point earlier, but this was using Millie's name unprovoked. Kendrick never said her name.
You always mention it, and I told y'all, Act do the same thing. He did the same thing with Ab-Soul. He did not have to mention Ab-Soul girlfriend, his baby mother, wife, how whatever relationship they are. That's his girl. That's his woman. He sat up there talking about, yeah, y'all all eating plants and stuff. No, you need to eat some plants, Ninja. You need to eat some plants. Stay away from the little microwave dinners.
Kendrick just said Drake likes little girls. Drake brought up Millie Bobby Brown, who, as I mentioned, was 20 at the time of this song dropping. Whitney is Kendrick's wife. Drake has literally, factually, evidently spent more physical time with Millie Bobby Brown as a teenager than he ever has with Whitney. So this line makes zero sense and doesn't help his case. Following this line, he says he's never looked twice at a teenager. Bella Harris was a teenager he seemed to meet more than twice. So unless he didn't look at her when he saw her, then this is also a lie. He says,
damn. Hey, y'all be looking at these videos like we talked about this already. Listen, you gotta be able to differentiate the breakdowns in it. You see how he breaking down this bar Drake thought he was cooking. Drake thought he was cooking. But you see how he tweaked it like, yo, you said you never looked at no. Okay, all right, boom. So when you was with her, you never looked at her? The dissection.
Epstein angle was the shit I expected.
Why was it expected, Drake?
He didn't even say Epstein. You see that? He didn't even say Epstein. He said, you on Weinstein. You on Weinstein. He said Weinstein. He ain't say Epstein.
Young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested.
First of all, it's a very narcissistic comment saying he's too famous for anything. But secondly, it's a very dumb one. A lot of worldwide famous people only got exposed years, sometimes even decades after they committed heinous crimes. Yes, fame puts a lot of eyes on you, but it also gives you a lot of money to pay for crisis management teams, lawyers, and PR people to hide things. He also claimed to plant a mole in Kendrick's camp, who made up the lie about Drake having a daughter. Someone as narcissistic and egotistical as Drake, in a desperate situation like this, would have filmed something or had receipts to prove what he did. Do you know how easy that would be to prove? He literally filmed a music video. He could have filmed this process of getting the mole in Kendrick's camp, but he didn't. To this day, there is no proof. Arguably the weirdest moment in this beef that made me feel uncomfortable personally and showed Drake's real dark side was his misunderstanding of Mother I Sober. Kendrick Lamar had a song on his album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers called Mother I Sober. In the song, he talks about despite him not actually being assaulted as a kid, his mother didn't believe him as she herself had been assaulted and was imagining seeing the signs on him due to her trauma. Drake mistook this story for Kendrick actually being touched himself and claims that that's why Kendrick is so focused on the angle of Drake being weird with underage girls.
It's about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with.
First of all, why does...
Don't break this ninja down, man. Don't break this ninja down, man. Why would you be obsessed with something you got drunk with? Man, come on, bro. Come on, bro. See, he trying to predict dot angles. Why
does someone have to have been assaulted to call out a grown man's weird behavior with minors? Secondly, it shows that when limited with ammo to diss someone in a rap battle, Drake was willing to go to the deep depths of bringing up a child being touched inappropriately as a comeback. Even if it was true, that wouldn't be a bar most people would think is good. It's disgusting. Objectively, in terms of Billboard charts and public opinion, Kendrick Lamar destroyed Drake in this beef, and Drake's ego was sent crumbling down.
Dang! He thought he was cooking. He probably was in the studio with his ghostwriters like, ooh, Crowdy. Ooh, Crowdy. Dot's about to go down. Nah, bruh. No, sir. He got whooped. He got whooped. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. This is the dark psychology of Drake. Because something's going on with these guys, man. And Drake ain't the only one of his type. There's many Drakes out here. Not many Drakes, no pun intended for the gun enough, but there is many, like multiple Drakes that's out here in this world that need correction, bruh. Look, you're dealing with something from your past, and now it exudes out of your personality. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.